Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I've got a game from the Zotac Cup. It is between TSLRevival, who is the pink Zerg in the top left, and he's playing against Fugazi. And he is the orange Terran in the lower left position. The map is Teldarim Altar, and it's a pretty awesome map for a TVZ in my opinion. I mean, the only big issue are these rocks at the third base, and essentially that's for Revival. For Fugazi it doesn't matter too much because essentially Terran don't need to get their third base super quick, and when they are looking to take it, he'll have a lot of Marines and Marauders. For Revival on the other hand, well, this third base is really quite essential, especially in the switch and meta game to being very much a 3-base Zerg play. I mean, you don't often see Zerg stick on 2 bases just because to really build up that dominating force they need to take it. So getting this out early is really difficult because obviously the main Zerg force is only Zerglings, especially in ZvT. You don't tend to see roaches unless the Terran's going mechs, so clearing out rocks can be really hard because obviously they have those 3 armor, which means Zerglings only do 2 damage per hit, which takes a long time. Meanwhile, we will see Fugazi going for this 1 Rax build at the moment. It's really common. I'd imagine that he's going to go for 1 Rax command center type build. That'll be told by whether he takes these gas or not. Obviously gas are the biggest indicator of what a player is going to be doing. Revival, I almost guarantee, will go for a 15 hatch into a 16 pool. He's got enough money to now, and here comes the drone as well. So that's just the standard thing to do against a Terran player as a Zerg. And then how he'll follow up will be quite interesting. I mean, because of their spawn positions as well, they are well, I mean, Revival's not going to want to go here because it's going to be awkward, which means his most likely third base will actually be over here, which is a bit harder to defend, but I actually prefer, because if he expands here, it's really quite close. He can get quite trapped by tanks and things like that. Drop play would be really effective into the third base there because it's such a short distance. Anyway, we will see Revival going for a spawning pool, everything pretty standard. Also, Fugazi isn't getting a gas, he is saving up quite a lot of minerals, so he's going to be going for that 1 Rax command center build, which is getting so common. I mean, before the Queen range change, you saw a lot of Terran players go for a Hellion expand, because Hellions were so effective against Zerg. They could pick off drones, they could completely deny creep spread, whereas now Queens have 5 range. It's becoming really increasingly common for a Zerg player to go for 4 Queens off of 2 bases, 2 for the injects, 2 for creep spreading and defense, and with the 5 range they're very good at dealing with Hellions. And gone are the days where a Terran player can do a lot with 4 Hellions. It has to be at least sort of 6 to 8 before they start being damage dealers, and that's a big commitment. Whereas, I mean, ultimately your Zerg opponent is going to be going for a 15 hatch. Why not get your own expansion quickly? Because they're not going to be in a position to put on pressure. You may as well keep up economically, and specifically on a map like Teldarim where they can't take an easy third because of these rocks, then why not? I mean, you'll stay on 2 bases with the Zerg for a while. Equal bases obviously favouring the Terran in that situation, and is ultimately the best move to make. And just as Fugazi's doing here, you can drop down this bunker, and that just makes you a bit safer. It's a nice defensive position, and you can also follow up with reactor Hellions, which is really quite normal, because you're in a better economic position to deal with it. You can still maintain the map control, but the Hellions are much more for trying to prevent too much creep spread, and also just to keep your map awareness and scouting and deny it from the Zerg player. We do have a Roach Warren coming down here though from Revival, which is going to be able to deal with those Hellions really well, and maybe the indicator of some kind of Roach-Ling bling push, or even just Roach-Ling, which would be really effective on this map because it's hard to wall off. I mean, there's absolutely no wall off here to the natural base, so this is very exposed for Fugazi. Meanwhile, we've got more barracks being added on here, and everything's going pretty standard, so will be interesting to see what the kind of follow-ups are. There is a lot of gas being banked up here at the moment, and no Zergling speed, so this is definitely looking like it's going to be a big roach push. And well, here we go, a lot of roaches are on their way out now, and well, 8 roaches at this stage of the game is a big commitment by the Zerg player. Will be interesting to see where they rally to. It looks like the rally point is actually just straight down to Fugazi's base. That Overlord is going to be at risk of being picked off, but it's just getting some scouting information. Tech Lab coming down, see this high ground, can't pick it off yet, could use a scan to take it down, but good use of the map there, and out come all of these roaches. This could be a really big push, and to be honest, Fugazi isn't in a great position to deal with it. These 2 Hellions are going to get absolutely slaughtered. There's nothing they can really do against these roaches in small numbers. I mean, if you get stupid numbers of Hellions, they're good against everything that Zerg has early on, but really anything below sort of 10 roaches decimate. So here we go, we're going to see a bit of a push. This bunker's going to be critical, but there's only 2 marines in it, and well, reactors being added on here. We do have Stim on its way, second bunker coming in now, but really behind this Revival doing exactly the right thing. He's going to put on quite a bit of pressure, and he's rolling up behind, and we've got a big engagement coming in. The SCVs are trying to repair that bunker, but all the head-ins getting taken out now. The SCVs being focused, and I think that's exactly the right position, because well, these roaches aren't going down quickly at all. There is one marauder now in that bunker, and even the mule's being brought out to repair, and this is not looking good at all for Fugazi. He's lost a lot of SCVs, a lot of mules, which ultimately is a massive amount of gaming income. And now this bunker's being cleaned up and the roaches are still there. And this is a really small commitment to attack from Revival. Ultimately, he's droning up behind this, he's getting his lair. Stim is not in a great spot, and the supply depots are both up, and that was not a good move there by Fugazi at all. And really, he's going to lose that tech lab, and without that Stim, it's going to be an absolute huge loss. All the SCVs are being pulled, and Sonic's game is all over now. Fugazi's lost way too many drone SCVs. He's lost his tech lab, and critically, that was researching Stim, which takes us such a long time to build, and without Stim going into the mid-game, well, Fugazi's going to have serious issues. He's quickly lifting that factory to get vision of this Overlord trying to land again, putting a star pod on the reactor, so going to switch to kind of getting medevacs out really quick. Meanwhile, a spine and a hatchery coming down here for Revival. Good choice getting this hatchery in the base. If you can't take an easy third, the next best thing is to take a macro hatch as soon as possible. It also acts as a bit of Sim City to just wall off this area better, and this spine, really a good choice. He's getting the double Evo chamber as well as a baning nest, and everything's gearing up really for Revival here to just go and end this game as quickly as possible. This choice of getting the spine here, while it might seem more defensive, it's the best move to make, because Fugazi is in an awful position. He's lost 11 workers. The worker count is 27 to 55, so basically half the workers, and because of that, his only real option is to sort of all in, and if he's got a good defensive position, then Revive will be able to stay in the game, he'll be able to hold it up easily and then capitalize. If on the other hand Fugazi chooses not to go and push, well, he's still in a good spot, because Revival can just sit there and macro up, get a good army, get the good tech. I mean, he's getting so far ahead in tech. I mean, Stim's still about 100 seconds away, so that's essentially nearly 2 minutes, and by that point we're going to be into kind of 12 minutes of the game before Stim. Revival is going to be looking to start getting hive tech at that point, or doing a massive push. I mean, he's getting centrifugal hooks rather, and he's going to be able to just get those banelings out. He's going to be able to crush any infantry force which comes over, such as this one, and once the banelings start coming in, scouted by the watchtower, Zerglings are running past, and this kind of Zergling run by is going to force Fugazi back, otherwise he'll take massive losses, and ultimately it's delaying the push long enough for Revival to get out a lot more units. He's got Zerglings pretty much everywhere, and Fugazi's still just sitting back and having to wait, which is never the best thing to do. Well, I mean, it's the best thing he can do in this situation, but it's not the best thing overall, and obviously these Zerglings are positioning themselves for a big counter-attack, a lot of banelings wolfing in. Meanwhile, this defensive force is getting very sizable, a lot of roaches, and very little to deal with those roaches there. I mean, the medevacs will play into this quite effectively. There is a spine though. I really think Revive was playing this well, pulling back to be by the spine. And here we go, we'll see an engagement coming in. All of these Zerglings running in. We've got Baning coming from the back as well, but a great little lift there. And that's just safe for Fugazi's army, and essentially all of these banelings are just going to come straight in, and this natural base is looking very weak all of a sudden. The medevacs aren't going to get back in time, and really this could be game right here. The third base being taken by Revival behind this, just getting a stream of Zerglings out. All of those SCVs getting picked off by the Zerglings. Very wisely, Revival not wasting those banelings, and all those full kids go down, and yeah, this is all over now. Fugazi's lost his command center, and he's about to lose all of his tech. There's the GG, and that is game 1 to Revival. Do stay tuned for game 2. Also, quick shout out, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, that would all be awesome. Leave any comments or anything down below. But most importantly, come and check out game 2, and I hope you enjoyed. See you in a sec.